Hey there. So I've been thinking about this topic for a while and I haven't made a video in a long time, but now felt right. So the topic is soulmates. Why you will never find your soulmate. And the reason is because your soulmate does not exist yet. And so that's the topic. Okay, so let's start with what you will find. When you enter into an intimate relationship with someone, you're attracted to someone, and they're attracted to you, and you want to be together with just them, you've found an imago match. And an imago match it comes from the couples sort of therapy system called imago. And an imago match is an image. It's an image of positive and negative traits of your parents or caretakers from when you were young. When you find someone who you are attracted to and you want to commit to, likely they are going to share a lot of characteristics with your parents or your caretakers from when you were young. And there's kind of a whole, it's a separate video to talk about why or other implications of that. But if you assume that that's true, then what happens is you find someone who you're very drawn to, and you see their strengths, and you want some of their strengths, but at the same time they have weaknesses that you want to change. And those weaknesses are the same as the weaknesses from your parents or your caretakers. And so you want to change that person, right? This happens after a few months, after the kind of romantic, we're super in love and perfect together phase. Once that kind of passes, you get into the power struggle, which is, I want to change you so that you become more what I need, and I don't want you to change me. That's the power struggle. So, soulmates. Soulmates are not out there. Your soulmate is the person who your partner becomes and the person who you become for them over time if you put effort into it and you practice communicating, being vulnerable and bringing up issues in a vulnerable way, which comes down to not blaming the person. So let's just give an example. Let's say one person has been cleaning up the kitchen a lot recently, and let's say that's you. And you're like, they never do any cleaning. What the hell, And you get really annoyed at them. Well, bringing the issue up vulnerably would be, there's different ways to do it, but a couple of ways would be, you could say something like, you could talk about your childhood, and you could say, I'm feeling kind of triggered because in my childhood, my mother did a lot of cleaning around the house or whatever. My father never did anything, and that was a source of tension for them, and it makes me anxious when I feel like that might be happening with us. Even if it's not, I can get anxious if I think it's happening with us. So that's one way, is you just talk about your childhood and you kind of connect it to the present moment. Another way is to say, I'm feeling like I've been cleaning the kitchen a lot, and I'm wondering what I could do to help you clean the kitchen more with me, or to get your help, right? So you kind of bring it up in a hopeful, positive way, rather than from a triggered and despairing place, right? If you bring it up from a triggered place, it's going to be, why don't you clean? And, focusing on the what bad is happening. And that's not vulnerable. That's more like offensive, right? And defensive. The other person defends, you defend, right? So it kind of creates more of a wall. Whereas the vulnerable options allow more flow. You're asking a question and you're genuinely listening for an answer that will help solve the problem, right? That'll help bring the connection back to you. So, that was a digression into how to bring things up vulnerably. But that practice of bringing things up vulnerably, increasing the connection and space, the connection between you and the space that you each have to feel feelings without having to fight or attack each other, right? Because you need space. Let's say these are two people, right, under my hands. They each need space to feel their separate feelings without it flowing automatically into each other, right? But at the same time, they want to be connected so they can sense each other, but not necessarily have to, clash or just like spill over into each other, right? So it's a balance. It's a delicate balance. The longer you practice doing that, creating that, the closer you come to getting your soulmate. And at the same time, the closer your partner comes to getting their soulmate. Soulmates are created.